Welcome to Metals 100 at PDAC 2025. We're so glad to have Shaun from 1911 Gold. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to join here today.
Great, so let's start with a quick introduction. Can you tell us more about your company?
Yeah, certainly. So 1911 Gold owns a very large land package called the Rice Lake property package, located about 3 hours north of Winnipeg in Manitoba, Canada. It lies within the same Birch-Uchi greenstone belt, which extends across to the Red Lake camp. So we're about 100 kilometers to the west of the Red Lake camp. Basically the same types of geology, same types of rock as what you find over there is what we have. What's a little different about us, similar to say a West Red Lake type story, is that we have a permitted mill, permitted tailings facility, and existing 3 underground mines with a combined resource right now of 1.1 million ounces.
Great. So you recently announced that the latest drill results from True North. So can you tell us more about that?
Certainly, yeah. We've had 2 news releases related to drilling around the mine lease area. So it's the first time 1911 Gold's ever drilled within the mine lease footprint. Previously, we'd focused more on regional exploration. So we've got a lot of historical results elsewhere on the belt, but we've now kind of focused in around the existing mine. And what we're finding is there's a lot of opportunities to grow and expand the resource and the footprint of our existing mines right around the mill. So it's a really good opportunity. We've hit 2 separate vein structures, one to the west and one to the southeast. And these are just basically different shear veins that have intersected the same host rock that contains the main True North underground mine. And we're finding that there's some drill results, say at depth, where they might have been mining historically, but they were not followed up to surface. And we're getting good grade, we're getting good continuity, and we're opening up other opportunities on the surface as well. So we're just showing that, that there's a lot of room to grow within the mine lease right now, and we've expanded our drill program because of the results that we've seen on those 2 areas, and we've added a couple other new targets as well.
That sounds exciting. So the junior gold exploration market is competitive. So what sets you apart from your peers, like competitors?
Yeah, no, certainly we're all, competing for resources, competing for capital. Mm-hmm. What I think separates 1911 a little bit, I alluded to it earlier, is the fact that we actually have a permitted mill. It was operating as recently as late 2022. We were retreating tailings, so we were still running the mill. We actually have 3 existing underground mines with a lot of infrastructure already in place. Permitted tailings, full camp infrastructure, low cost energy. Manitoba is the second cheapest electricity in Canada. And we've already got a resource, which we're now currently expanding and drilling and finding new areas within that resource. So we're not starting from scratch, and we've got a lot of room to grow here. When you look at our peers, we're significantly undervalued. Given the infrastructure in place, the size of our property footprint, it's over 62,000 hectares consolidated across a very large structure. So we think what we present really is a near-term opportunity for production with very little, actually no permitting risk involved, and lots of opportunity to expand and grow that production profile as we step out both within the mine lease area itself, but out to the regional footprint as well, and find opportunities to bring other mines online in that regional footprint.
So what are the milestones or discoveries that you've achieved recently for the company's growth?
I think, so some of it's, a little bit less exciting, which is we've brought in a highly qualified team. Mm-hmm. One thing that when we spun out of Klondex in 2018, we started off with a very regional exploration focus, and that was reflected in the type of people that were involved in the company, which were all great assets, but much more less experience on building resources and developing mines. What we've done now is we've refocused. We've brought in a team that's exceptional at drilling out mines, drilling out resources, and still have an exploration side to them. And we've supplemented that, or really topped it off, with bringing in Gary O'Connor on the board side, who's well known for bringing troubled assets or bringing resources into the development phase. So really built out the team. We followed that up by de-risking the resource by tearing down the old 1 million ounce resource from 2018 right down to the assay certificates in the core, rebuilt it from ground up, recreated a 1.1 million ounce resource out of that. And we were able to kind of point to a number of targets within the mine area that came out of that work, where we think there's significant opportunity to grow that. So those are the kind of the main milestones. We've launched the first ever drill program on the site now, and we're full steam ahead. We brought in a number of strategic investors in our December financing. So we've really got a nice, stable group of shareholders behind us now to help carry us through the next several years as we get this back into production.
Great. And we've seen your company's stock price recently increase a lot from Jan to February this year. So what's the reason behind it?
I think it's a few things, right? So we spent a lot of 2024 trying to spread the message, get new eyes on the stock, go into new markets that have not really heard of the story or seen the story. And we were able to pitch them on the idea like, look, these are the concrete deliverables we'll have to you over the next 6 to 9 months. And we're able to deliver on all of those results. So once we went into 2025, we did see a good pickup in 24 in our share price. You know, obviously everybody went through a little bit of a churn in November and December as the market kind of figured out where everything's headed. But coming into January, all that attention to the stock, we got out the first round of drill results, hit the gold price basically, which kind of moved up around the same time. So we did benefit from that and just showed that, look, we're delivering on what we said we would deliver. This asset's got a lot of potential. We've managed to get more eyes on it. And that really carried through into our share prices. We saw a lot of new buyers, new investors, and just seen a lot more enthusiasm for what we're doing out there.
That's perfect. So lastly, what is your company's strategy to create value for shareholders?
It's a combination of two things. So one is continuing to do what we were doing in 24. It's part of the reason why, you know, I was excited to kind of interview with you guys, because this is a whole new market for us. We haven't worked with you before, and I think there's a good outreach to new types of investors that probably have not seen the story. It's still very largely under what would I say? Largely overlooked, I guess is the way to put it. And I think so. There's a lot of opportunity to get more eyes on the stock. Right now, we're on the operations side. We're focusing on drilling. We've got new targets on surface. We're working on getting underground. So we're in the process of getting permission to take the hoist on our main shaft mine down to the 16 level, which gives us amazing access to multiple areas where we can drill off of from the underground, relatively shallow, and multiple drill holes at that point. And then in the background, we've got Eric Vignette, who we brought on in August, who's an experienced mine engineer. He's going to work with the resource we're bringing on in the next couple of weeks to de-risk the mining strategy, do an internal scoping on what that mining is going to look like, what the economics are going to look like, and then we'll look to probably put that into a PEA or a PFS at some point over the next 6 to 9 months. But we'll have those hard numbers in hand no matter what we decide to do. And the whole time we're going to continue drilling. So that's really going to be what carries us forward as we continue to grow the profile of this resource and continue to make new discoveries in and around the mine lease area.
So that's a great discussion with 1911 Gold. And thank you so much, Shaun, to join us and share insight with us. Hope you enjoyed the show today.